It's another one. It's another one. Damn, so much could happen in a day. So much could happen. But that's life, right? Nothing's ever a straight line. We get stronger. We implement exactly what we've been studying, learning, reading, and pondering on. It's like if we don't change, we get the same result over and over. Something within has to change. Something from within going into the outer has to change. Like, there's no other damn way. There's no other way. And yeah, so much could change. So much can get tested, so much thrown on the table. You're either setting boundaries, you're getting walked over, you're giving your power away, you're taking it back. The list just goes on and on. The list goes on and on, and it's part of our training to become a better version of ourselves. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Yeah, sometimes some things are not within our jurisdiction to change, But at the same time, too, though, it's like we can't be pointing fingers all the time. Sometimes we gotta point that finger at ourselves and say, hey, what is it that I could change? What is it that I could do? What is it that, I could do differently and get a different result? And ultimately, one of my biggest growths was definitely taking responsibility for everything. Everything. And just doing it, just saying it, just so, you become present with the situation and change what you can. And yeah, that's why now I understand why they call it growing pains. That's what it is, growing pains. And it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Yeah, I don't even know what the title of this video is yet. I haven't put it on yet. But I will say this, is that sometimes you have to set those boundaries because what you believe in, what you know is right, and another party may not be on the board with doing what is right. They're more on board on what's convenient at the moment. And it's a tough one. It's a tough one because the other party preaches exactly what you're standing up for. And then when now it's time to execute, they have, a convenience that they don't want to give up. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. And sure, I could blame and call them names and this and that, but what's that going to do? What is that going to do? That is not going to do anything. They're not going to be like, oh, now that you called me this name, I'm going to change. It doesn't work that way. They take more offense to the name calling than the point that you show them that they even know that they need to be changing on and applying. It's tough. It's tough. But at the same time, there's lessons to be learned. There's some lessons to be learned, I ain't gonna lie. And I'm gonna share them with you. So what I'm noticing, what I'm experiencing, and I'm gonna stand on this, is like everything you talk about, you point finger at, you criticize, it's just you. It's just you. It's a version of you. It's something within you. And I'm noticing that over and over and over again. And when I started noticing it, like I started changing myself. I started being very careful on like what I'm talking about, who I'm talking about, and what I'm saying. What am I focusing on, right? And I've just noticed with different people, they be talking about so-and-so, focused and talking about so-and-so. And when it came to scenarios and situations regarding them, I couldn't help but put 1 + 1 together to make it seem you too, right? And I realized, like, once I started realizing this, like, even to this day, I'm realizing no judgment on those people. No judgment, you know. I've talked about other people as well. I've criticized, I judged, and, you know, not knowing, you know, the consequences or the energy or the lack of self-reflection on my end. It was definitely part of the growth I had to endure. But yeah, talking about other people, even the thoughts about other people, like just the thoughts and the constant like vision frame that goes through your mind about others, like that affects you, because it's either you that you haven't confronted within yourself, or that is the energy you are summoning to be awakened within you. And it's just what it is. People talk about themselves. People talk about others because it's triggering something within them, because that's who they are. And it's the same thing over and over. And yeah, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one because, like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And so, I mean, it's also a beautiful thing too, because when someone's triggering you, it's like, okay, what is it within me that I could change so I don't feel this way? So I could just have understanding and compassion, right? Because maybe you got to have understanding and compassion for yourself first, and you want to feel that way. You could be like this is what I think now when I get tempted with those feelings of emotional triggers. It's like, oh, I remember when I used to be that way. I remember when I used to do that. I remember that. And then, you know, I have compassion and understanding from my old young self. And so now when I see it in others, that's what I think about. I'm like, oh, I remember that. Yeah, it's all good. They're going through that phase. You know, wish them well. They'll do all right. You know. But the old me would be like, look at so and so. They're so dumb. Can you believe they said that? And blah, blah. You know, it was just waste of energy, waste of oxygen. And like, I get it now. And it's a huge learning lesson. And so I've been around people and I've learned a lot from these people where they're talking about prosperity, abundance, joy, peace, winning at your habits, winning at your discipline, winning at your daily routine, your gym, your diet, your fitness, all that, everything. I've been around those people. That's what they focus on, that's what they bring about. And yeah, you know, you gotta have compassion for the people that just talk about the others, criticize, very opinionated. And you know what? It's easy to point a finger than to change oneself. Because it's like, we focus on thy neighbor so much, and then when it comes to ourselves, it's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm working on it, I'll try. And it's just, it doesn't go anywhere. And you know, that all you could change and all you could control is yourself. So that's what I'm going through right now, is controlling myself, keeping myself composed, and having an understanding that when people are talking about others, they're just talking about themselves. Whatever they're criticizing, it's just, they're criticizing themselves. You know, and I have to control myself and what I'm focused at. You know, am I focused on my habits? that build me up to be a better version of me. My diet, my thoughts on my actions, my thoughts on what I can control, and my attitude, my gratitude. I think gratitude is the big one. The gratitude is a big one. I want to focus on that. I want to talk about gratitude, and be thankful on some of the most smallest details of things, to excel, to get better, to prosper. I'm always saying this, everybody want to win. Everybody want to win. And it starts with the effort you're putting in and the focus you're putting in with oneself. If you're busy speaking about things you can't control, people you can't control, people that are triggering you, that's just a sign to just start working on you. That's just a sign to change you. It's like your favorite sports team played an average team and they lost, they got whooped on. What's the team gonna do? Are they gonna go over film, or are they gonna talk crap about the team that just beat them? That they cheated, and they did this, and the ref, and that, da, 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 da. Or are you gonna review your game film and say, hey, look at all these shots we missed. Look at all these opportunities we had to score and we didn't take them. We were too busy in our feelings and emotions about the ref and about the team and about the fans that we were neglecting our own game. We were missing opportunities to take control of the game. What you gonna do, right? What you gonna do? You have complete control of your game, but yet you want to focus on the other people's game and their excellence and what they basically prospered at, what they did right. That's a lot of energy that's definitely misappropriated, because you don't want to focus on what you did wrong and what you're missing out on. So what's it going to be, right? Review your own game film, get better, forget about the other people, and it's a challenge. It's a distraction. I ain't gonna lie and sit here and be like, oh, you're gonna be a master, you're great. Nah, because that's not the average output. That is not the average output between a lot of people, where you're focusing back onto you after things didn't go your way. Maybe the other team or the other person, the other group has an advantage over you, or whatever, right? That's part of the process as well. Just letting go and just focusing on oneself, right? Because it's easy to talk about the other team. Well, what you talk about, you bring about. Let's bring about executing at the highest level. Let's bring about performing and backing up your actions. Let's bring about more action and less talking. I love that phrase. So cliche. It's so cliche phrase, but it's true. What you talk about, you bring about. Let's talk about excelling at running the plays, running the game, scoring at your own position. Just simple things like that. You have control over that. That could speak for you. But instead, we're talking about the other people, the other team. They ran this, they have that, they did this. It might be true, it might be exaggerated, it might be a distraction. It don't matter. Let's excel at what we can excel at, right? Let's talk about what we can improve on. Let's talk about how we could be better. That's what we could change. That's what we could do. That's what we could prosper at. So, my name is Kevin. I go by Coach Kev on these internet platforms. Just here to get better. Just here to excel. Just here to make an inspiring, prosperous impact. That's all I could do. I get challenged. I get emotionally heated. I want things to go my way. I want comfort. I want a burrito. I want a muffin with my hot coffee. I want chocolate chip cookies with vanilla ice cream at night. Yeah, I'm human. But at the end, all I could do is just get better. Just overcome my desires and get better. Talk about myself and about where I could get better at. That's all there is to it, guys. That's all there is to it. All right, I'll leave the video there. Thanks to everyone who's been chiming in. And let's do it. Let's prosper. Let's propel. Let's live in our values. Let's excel. Let's win. On to the next. Peace.